In the 2019 NFL Draft, San Antonio native Ty Summers was a late-round draft pick of the Green Bay Packers. Picked at number 226, the San Antonio Reagan and TCU alum played in all 16 regular season games for Green Bay and both playoff games, mostly at special teams, but also at linebacker. In 2020, another San Antonio native, Brian London II, hopes to hear his name called in the NFL Draft. I had a chance to catch up with the UC Randolph and Texas State alum to talk about college football, just missing out on the 2015 boys basketball state championship, and his love for singing in the shower.
They've just been sending me multiple questionnaires and stuff. I just got to talk to someone on the phone. My agent, he's been doing a really good job of keeping the contact and keeping open lines and everything during this unprecedented times.
Texas State, I know, as far as wins and losses, didn't have a whole lot. How did you stay positive even in the years 3-9, 2-10, 4-8? How are you able to keep going and trying to not get down by the score on the scoreboard sometimes?
I love San Marvelous. I stand on it to this day. San Marvelous is the best college town in America, so I enjoy my time there, and I love going back. Obviously, I wanted to win. As a competitor, that's what anybody wants to do, but just getting the opportunity, there was nothing to be down on, nothing to take for granted.
Texas State had 3 different coaches while you were there. Francione recruited you, you played with Withers, and then Spavital. You don't normally see that in too many programs. What is it like for a college athlete where you only have 4 years, 5 with a red shirt, and you have three different systems to have to deal with?
It was definitely kind of challenging at times. Just different terminology, just getting used to how different people operate. But I just took it as an opportunity to learn from so many different people. Just everybody brings something different to the table. And so where one coach may have been good at, another may have lacked it. So just taking everything and just putting it in a melting pot and just refining it to help me become the best player I can be.
Why do you think things didn't work out with Withers, or what's different with Spavital and him finishing his first year?
Coach Withers was just a little more abrasive, I guess, than maybe what they may have wanted for someone in that position. So that really be it. Coach Spav, he's just they're kind of different. They take a different approach. Coach Spav is more lax, and he kind of understands the times and everything. So he's more like a player's coach, I guess you could say.
What does he bring, maybe that you guys hadn't seen before?
Probably the most thing that he brought was for me was just transparency. A lot of coaches, they kind of do Jedi mind tricks. They don't really you're doing something, but you're not sure why you're doing it. He was always just open and honest about why we were doing certain things. And when a coach is like that, it makes it easier to go hard because you see why you're doing something. You get connected to the experience.
Let's put your analyst hat on for a second. Now, what do you think Texas State has to do in 2020? What do you think the adjustments they have to make in order to get to 6-6 and have a shot at getting to their first bowl game?
Just eliminate self-errors. If you look back at our games, we played quality opponents, but a lot of our mistakes and wrongdoings were all self-inflicted. Whether that be turnovers or giving up the big play, we shot ourselves in the foot a lot of times.
Let's get away from football. Tell me a little bit about you, something maybe people wouldn't know about you that has nothing to do with football or basketball.
Something that people don't know about me. I'll probably say I'm probably one of the best shower singers in America. If I could trade football for a talent, I would probably be an R&B singer.
I'll let you leave your clothes on, but give us an example of a good song in the shower, albeit with the clothing still on.
Good song. Probably Mario, Let Me Love You. In karaoke, that's probably my go-to.
Let me love you, love you, love you, love you.
Let's go back to Randolph, because I got to cover you a couple times in the Military Bowl, and first off, that is a rivalry in of itself where you have the Army against the Air Force.
It's a rivalry, but I don't want there to be any confusion. The Dolph, we normally beat up on Cole in all sports, basketball, football, track and field. So I think the crown is in University City.
2015, the first year that the basketball semis and finals were in San Antonio, you all beat Childress, then almost upset Brock in the final. Take us back to what it was like to get that close to winning the championship.
When we learned that it was going to be in San Antonio before the season started, we made it a point to we want to put on for San Antonio. Show them like there's good football, good basketball being played, like even in the smaller ranks. Yeah, we're not the 6A and everything, but we play basketball just the same. And it was just a great experience. One I'll never forget. It still haunts me a little bit to this point because we had them. We were big underdogs going into the Brock game, and we had them. We just down the stretch. They made plays and we didn't, so it kind of stings still, even just talking about it right now.
The military schools are doing quite well in basketball, where it's kind of one of the great hidden gems of San Antonio.
Yeah. Well, the girls basketball, they're always normally pretty good in the playoffs, and yeah, there's always good basketball being played in that conference. So yeah, just to get back to our winning ways between those two schools is cool.
What are you going to tell your guys since Cole is 6-0 against them the last 2 seasons?
That's temporary. We got to get back in the win column soon.
What do you think is going to be the biggest adjustment going to the NFL game? Because you're going to be going from the Sun Belt to an NFL stadium that'll have at least 50,000 fans in it.
I mean, the same as anything going from like high school to college or college to the pros. It's just the depth pool is going to get that much better. You're going against, like in college, every week you'll see a few all-conference guys. Well, in the pros, you're going to see some All-Americans. Like at worst, you're seeing all-conference guys in their respective conferences. So just a talent pool, just going against better competition week in and week out.
We've seen the last few years guys coming out of high schools that traditionally didn't have a lot of playoff success or didn't get a lot of media coverage. Josh Reynolds never played in a playoff game. Davenport never played in a playoff game. They've both done well in the NFL. Malcolm Brown won a state championship. Has that kind of helped you out a little bit with this adjustment, knowing that there's guys you can liken yourself to that have come from San Antonio? Because we've seen Trey Flowers, another example, guys that have come out in the last few years and have, for the most part, done pretty well.
Yeah, just seeing those guys make it out of the 2-0, just seeing that on Sundays and Thursdays and Mondays, it just in my heart, it just materializes that like this is real. Like it was once a dream, but now this is real. Like I have an opportunity to join the likes of those guys, and it just adds more confidence to me.